Hello and welcome to the Cabo webinar from WS Display. I'm Mike Morrison, National Sales Director for WS, and we appreciate you taking time to see this webinar for this new product being offered from WS. In order to get started, let's go over the main profiles that make up the Cabo line. The first profile is the Cabo 80 square extrusion. As you can see with the description, it is 80 millimeters wide on all four sides, which converts imperially to 3.1 inches. There is a system groove that is 4.3 millimeters wide, or 1/8 of an inch wide, and it exists on all four sides of the extrusion. The system groove is used when locking other extrusions mechanically to make a display, or also can be used to accept rigid substrates for graphic purposes. The Cabo 80 corner profile is just like the Cabo 80 standard that we were just talking about, with the exception that it has a built-in SEG groove and is used as a vertical corner post to begin a graphic in one spot while wrapping around the entire structure and finishing adjacent to the beginning location. SEG, of course, is the acronym for silicone-edged graphics that are inserted into the SEG groove. We also have the Cabo 80 SEG-H, which stands for the horizontal extrusion, which is used perpendicularly to the Cabo 80 corner vertical post. The Cabo 80 angle extrusion can be used with the standard Cabo 80 post to create a 45-degree angle vertically with any display build. There are two in stock Cabo 40 profiles that are used, and as you can see here, we have the Cabo 40 extrusion, which replicates the Cabo 80 with the exception that it is smaller, obviously exactly 1/2 the size, and a measurement of 1.57 inches wide imperially. The other Cabo 40 post is the angle vertical post that you saw in the Cabo 80 and used the same manner to create a 45-degree angle within a display. So with the many different resort extrusion options from WS to choose from, the question would be, why choose Cabo? One of the main reasons to choose Cabo would be when your display measurements require an exact length, height, and width. Many of our clients have really enjoyed the use of the Modco product that we offered a few years ago and still offer to this day as a tools-free display solution and an option for their silicone-edged graphic SEG builds. But the realism of choosing that product for your display build centers on the fact that you are restricted to a 62 millimeter divisibility in size, meaning you are going to be plus or minus on your length, height, and width of your display. When your display requires an exact length, height, and width, Cabo allows you to achieve that. Another reason that Cabo is a great choice centers on the purpose of building large span displays, and an example would be either 20 or 30-foot wide displays. You also have versatility in Cabo with a silicone-edged fabric graphic or rigid panels, so interchangeability of graphic substrates is possible. The choice of using an 80 millimeter or 40 millimeter helps with stability based on the overall size of your display. The control of budgets comes into play with this as well. It's very easy to install and dismantle these types of builds with Cabo, as you only have one tool in most cases for the build, and you can knock down the display to individual sticks versus frames. It is extremely labor-friendly, shipping-friendly, and very easy to change graphics with Cabo builds. You also have printing available in a one-stop shop silicone edge graphics now, and hard substrates will be coming soon from WS. And one final point is the fact that Cabo 80 will marry to our existing Veil 80S Lightbox application. So as you can see here, our Veil 80S Lightbox can work with the Cabo 80 if a backlit portion of the display is needed. The Veil adds a light box, and it resembles Cabo in the fact that it can be a specific size, length, height, and width. Going over the parts catalog, it's more of a PDF that's about 9 pages long. As you can see here, we have the different profiles that are listed that you saw a few minutes ago. And then also on this list, you have accessories, everything from tension lock adapters to splices, base plates, other accessories that will allow you to create caps, adjustable feet, end plates, and so forth. The tools that you see here, I mentioned before, a Torx wrench works in order to put this together. It's basically a one-tooled product. And then you've got universal accessories like a door, shelving, shelf brackets, reinforced triangular corners in order for span to be supported. You also have some SEG profiles that can convert Cabo 40 and 80 from a rigid substrate use to a silicone edge graphic use. Hammerheads will hold everything in place for that purpose. Configurations that are completely specified with a price are shown here, and they're on the website currently. Mainly 20 by 20 and 20 by 30 are shown in 80 millimeter profile specification. The average price of these kits, if you will, averages between $6,000 to $9,000 as complete graphic packages. But this product also comes as graphics only and hardware only options out of our Pacific Coast facility. You can also see here, there's a few examples of designs which can be utilized as discussion options for clients looking for a specific design look. But in many cases, what we will most likely see is something like this. That's a custom build scenario for the client. And in many cases, the designs will change. And you see the rendering here where you've got a full graphic on one end with a header space at the top. The actual build ended up using a smaller graphic with a bigger open header here. So that's the ability to change on the fly the design using Cabo. So in many cases, that will happen when it comes down to using Cabo for your custom designs. And we will most likely be using that a lot rather than using those configurations that you saw a second ago. In the regards to lead time, if it's a pre-designed graphic package, as you see there, 5 business days for up to 2 complete sets. A custom graphic package can take up to 5 days, 5 business days, depending on the size and complexity of the build. Graphics only are usually quicker. Starts at around 2 business days. It also depends on the size and quantity of prints. Hardware only, averaging about 3-day turnaround, 3 business days, depending on size and complexity of the build. 3D booth renders, which we do for our clients, usually takes place within 24 to 48 hours. We use the black and white stretch fabric material for our graphics. The max width roll, as you see there, 126 inches, the 10-foot fabric for that. We have the paper transfer dye sublimation, so it is dye sub. We use the 12 by 3 silicone Keter bead for the SEG, and the graphics are printed at our Pacific Coast facility location only. And we do like to point out we are going to have rigid panel substrates coming soon. Most places already have a source for that where they're located. Applications are across the board: trade show displays, counters, towers, back walls, POP displays, product displays in retail. That's becoming very popular for this product. We see a lot of use for that. Light boxes can be custom with this, not just the Veil 80 we mentioned before, but you can actually build some custom using this. Shell schemes and pavilions are a legendary use of this particular product, as well as meeting rooms, storage rooms, closet areas with doors and security available for that. So if you need an estimate for Cabo, just email me at mike@WS-Display for your custom quotes. If you have a rendering with DIMS, and that can be anything from a pencil sketch on a napkin to full-fledged renderings, you can include that in your email. That'll give us some clarity on the front end of what we need to estimate. In-hand dates, knowing when your client needs that, the build is crucial in order to make sure that the adequate lead time to deliver the product takes place. Please note that this product can be hardware only, graphic only, as well as complete packages. So you do have some versatility there on what you can order. And then we will also need to know if your order requires to be shipped in a crate, a skid, a box, a case, and so forth. So we specify that accordingly. We had some pre-submitted questions for this. We'll go over those now. Are you building crates for this? As that last slide mentioned, we do build crates. And if your build is somewhere of a peninsula type of or island type of build that's 20 by 20 or 20 by 30 or larger, crates would be ideal because you can put extra materials in the crate along with the build and the graphics. So yes, we do build the crates for these, but we also offer the ability to ship in the boxes, as well as La Caja cases, which is our hard rolling case, telescopic case that we can put sticks into. We can do skids, as I mentioned, and boxes as well. Do you have CAD or vector profiles available for rendering purposes? We actually render in 3D Studio. We do have the files for individual sticks and accessories. We also have the files for the configurations. If you'd like to use those to specify and design around what you're looking for, we can provide that as well. How do the Centra graphics attach to the Cabo frame system? Is it by Velcro or some other means? Actually, many times, just like the beading that you'll see sewn into fabric graphics, you can just encompass that into the system groove. So you can make a frame out of Cabo and use your Centra hard rigid graphics inside of that frame with the system groove. Usually 2 or 3 millimeter Centra works fine for sliding that into the frame and encapsulate inside of that system groove. Is Cabo lifetime warranty on the frames? Yes, it is. Just like hardware from WS, does have a lifetime warranty on the frames, 1 year from receipt on prints or graphics. And then, of course, any electrical that you might receive has a 1 year guarantee warranty as well. And finally, are these for rent? We do not rent Cabo. We find out for many of our clients that it's even more reasonable to purchase as far as cost is concerned than it is to rent. And but we do not at this time rent any products from WS to our reseller clients. So we hope this webinar was informative. If you have questions, please feel free to hit me up rather at mike@wsdisplay.com with any other questions, and I'll help where I can. Thanks for watching.